Welcome to Staff Works Explained. If you are here for the first time, please consider subscribing to this channel. You can hit the notification bell so that when you upload a new video, you are notified. In today's video, we'll be talking about Project Oil Kenya. We'll be looking at a proposal that was made by Tullow Oil CEO for a joint pipeline with South Sudan. We'll look at the potential benefits and challenges of this partnership, the financial constraints that Kenya and South Sudan are facing, and a possible exploration of a model which includes or involves barter trade. This is similar to what Ethiopia has done with South Sudan, especially in construction of a road that is linking Ethiopia southwestern part with South Sudan. We'll look at the past setbacks involving construction of a crude oil pipeline, where Uganda was to join hands with Kenya to build a joint pipeline, but these did not succeed. And we'll also talk about the need for expediting such a proposal if all the parties agree. Let's sail through this together. Kenya's ambition to become an oil exploiting nation may be closer to reality following a renewed proposal by Tullow Oil Kenya. The company, which discovered oil in Kenya's Turkana region in 2012, has suggested a strategic partnership with South Sudan to build a joint crude oil pipeline. Tullow Oil CEO Rahul Dahil, in an interview with Bloomberg on November 8, 2024, outlined the potential for connecting Kenya oil fields with in Lokicha to South Sudan oil infrastructure, and this was to form a joint pipeline that would transport oil from Kenya and South Sudan to the Kenyan coast, particularly in Lamu port. The CEO emphasized that the combined output of 120 barrels per day from Kenya and 250,000 barrels per day from South Sudan would provide enough volume to justify the construction of a very nice pipeline, as he called it. This partnership offers a solution to both countries, which are facing challenges as far as their oil is concerned. South Sudan needs a new outlet for its crude oil, while Kenya requires both capital and a partner to build its long-delayed pipeline to the port of Mombasa. South Sudan oil pipeline, which is crucial for its economy, ceased operation earlier in 2024 due to conflict and technical issues. With South Sudan now looking to restart its pipeline operations, a partnership with Kenya would revitalize the regional oil sector. For Kenya, this collaboration would present a significant step toward commercial oil production, which has been delayed due to lack of strategic partners and slow approval of the Tullow Oil Field Development Plan by the Kenyan government. In July 2024, Kenya rejected the FDP that had been presented by Tullow Oil on the basis that it was not adequate. Tullow Oil's FDP, which was submitted in 2021, outlined the company's approach to developing Kenya's oil field, which forecast at 120,000 barrels of oil per day, and the projects which were supposed to actualize this export were in tune of $3.4 billion. This is equivalent to $442.44 billion using the current exchange rate. Tullow initially aimed to export oil by 2028, but the project was set back when the two key partners withdrew. The success of the plan now hinges on the Tullow securing a new strategic partner, getting financing, and also getting the necessary land and water rights for the pipeline construction. Kenya previously made its first oil export in 2019 under the Early Oil Pilot Scheme, which is EOPS, where it shipped 240,000 barrels of crude oil, and out of this it earned 1.48 billion Kenya shillings. However, the country has yet to establish itself as a consistent oil exporter. This proposed collaboration with South Sudan could unlock Kenya potentials to exploit oil, marking a pivotal moment for the region's oil sector. While the proposed partnership between Kenya and South Sudan to develop the joint crude oil pipeline has presented some opportunity to unlock Kenya's long-delayed oil export potential, significant challenges remain. The collaboration could mark a pivotal moment for the energy sector in the region, but hurdles such as security risks, financial constraints, and also political instability need to be addressed before the project can succeed. First, the conflict in South Sudan, particularly in the regions where the proposed pipeline would pass. This poses a significant risk to project viability. South Sudan has a history of political instability and conflict, which could lead to the security threat of the pipeline and also delay the construction process. Any renewed violence could disrupt oil transportation, making the project vulnerable to shutdowns, as well as was seen earlier in 2024 when South Sudan pipeline ceased operations. Additionally, securing land and water rights for the project in Kenya has been a stumbling block for Tullow oil in the past. Secondly, the financial aspect of building such a large infrastructure project is a major hurdle. Kenya debt levels have escalated significantly in the recent years, making it difficult for the country to finance expensive infrastructure projects like this one. South Sudan is also struggling with an economic crisis, largely dependent on oil revenue, and this limits the country's ability to contribute financially to this kind of a project. The estimated cost of building the pipeline could run into billions of dollars, and securing external financing has so far proven difficult for Tullow oil. One potential solution to these financial challenges could be adopting a barter trade model. This is similar to what Ethiopia has entered with South Sudan. Ethiopia is financing a key highway linking South Sudan and southwestern Ethiopia using a modern-day barter trade system, where South Sudan will repay the loan for the road project with crude oil. In this model, Ethiopia covers cost of this $738 million and receives crude oil as a repayment after a 5-year grace period. Kenya could explore a similar approach using South Sudan crude oil to finance the construction of the pipeline. This model would allow both countries to overcome the challenges that they are facing, especially financial, and bring the pipeline project into fruition without relying solely on the traditional financing methods. The proposed partnership between Kenya and South Sudan for a joint crude oil pipeline bears strong similarity to an earlier agreement between Kenya and Uganda. Initially, Uganda had planned to export its oil via pipeline through Kenya Lamu port. However, Uganda eventually opted for a route through Tanzania, resulting into the construction of East African crude oil pipeline. This pipeline, which spans a distance of 1,443 kilometers, is currently under construction and is set to allow Uganda to export its oil through Tanzania port of Tanga. Uganda's shift to the Tanzania route was a major setback for Kenya, which lost a regional oil partner. Given this history, Kenya must act quickly if the new partnership with South Sudan is to succeed. If the proposal is accepted, it should be expedited to avoid further delays in developing Kenya oil sector. Losing another strategic partner, as happened with Uganda, would not only delay the commercialization of the Kenya oil reserves, but could also severely hinder country's potential to establish itself as a key player in the regional oil market. Speeding up the process is essential, especially considering the pressing need for infrastructure investment and oil production in Kenya. Securing South Sudan as a partner could help bring much needed momentum for the project, but Kenya needs to avoid the pitfall that led to Uganda's departure. Expediting negotiations, securing financing, as well as ensuring that political and security concerns are addressed quickly will be key to ensuring that this project does not face similar fate. In conclusion, we can say that the proposed partnership between Kenya and South Sudan for a joint crude oil pipeline could be a turning point for Kenya's long-delayed ambition to become an oil exporting nation. With Tullow oil a renewed proposal to collaborate with South Sudan, both countries are going to benefit. Kenya will gain a critical partner to help in commercialization of its oil reserves, and South Sudan will gain out of securing a new outlet for its crude oil now that the Sudan route has got into some problem due to conflict that is there. However, for this partnership to succeed, Kenya must act swiftly and avoid pitfalls that caused Uganda to switch routes in favor of Tanzania East African crude oil pipeline. Key challenges such as regional security threats, financial constraints, as well as political instability, these need to be addressed to ensure that the project remains viable. Moreover, innovative financing models like what we have in Ethiopia, the modern-day barter trade arrangement with South Sudan, this can provide a blueprint for overcoming the financial challenges as well as enabling both countries to realize the pipeline's potential without heavily relying on the traditional financing methods. The success of this venture depends on its expedition. Kenya needs to expedite the negotiations as well as secure the necessary approvals as well as financing. With the right approach, Kenya can avoid further delay and finally establish itself as a significant player in the global oil market, and it can turn its oil reserves into substantial economic asset. However, failure to seize this opportunity could leave Kenya once again searching for partners, further delaying its entry into the oil export market. So Kenya needs to act quickly if this proposal is bought by all parties. So thank you for reaching this far. If it's your first time here, please consider subscribing to this channel. You can also hit the notification bell so that when we upload a new video, you are notified. Leave a comment and let us hear what you have about this proposal to have a joint project between Kenya and South Sudan to improve or to make it reality as far as oil export is concerned. Thank you.